Cool, that's going. All right, I'm gonna hit this within this minute. Hi, thanks for joining me. I have to remember to look at the camera. Please let me know you're here. Just say hi. I'll see your name in the sidebar. If I put my glasses on, that is. Thanks for joining me. So what I'd like to do is start off by grounding all of us together and guiding us through a really short centering process. So go ahead and close your eyes. I'll close my eyes too. And just pay attention to your breathing. Feel where your top of your head is. Feel where your shoulders are. Find your hips. Find your sit bones. Find your knees. Find your feet. And I'm going to assume everybody is sitting, so please make yourself really comfortable. I have no idea how long we're going to be together. I trust you to do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Leave when you feel complete. But if you're in a sitting position, go ahead and find the back of your heart. Let's just spend a couple of breaths centering in the back of our heart chakras. Your mind might be busy with details, chattering, thinking about what you've done today or what's ahead. Just let that wash past you and place your attention on your heart and let yourself settle. Slow, deep breathing will help you settle also. So feeling our breath, feeling the back of our hearts. As you're sitting, I'd like you to imagine that you can open the base of your spine and drop a connection down to the core of the earth, like a connecting rod. You can use your imagination or your sensation to drop down and connect with the center of Mother Earth. Feel that connection, feel Mother Earth responding to your attention, recognizing you specifically, and sending back her attention into your spine. And so there's an exchange of connection. And then bring that connection up to your heart, so you are receiving from Mother Earth, grounding your energy and attention and body down. And if you feel to send some love from your heart down that channel, down your central channel, down your spine, back to the heart of the Mother, And so we're creating a balancing exchange of communication energetically with our forms, our love, and that of Mother Earth. So I'm going to invite you during this time that we're together to stay in that focus. So my eyes will be open on and off as I'm going in and out of transmission energy, and there's really nothing for you to pay attention to other than your own breath and energy and your connection, staying still and present and feeling. Yeah, and I'm doing the same. So there's a handful of you that have been receiving emails from me, because initially about a month ago I felt the call to send you what I was getting in my morning meditations in my journal, and then you all wanted to keep receiving that, and then recently my guidance has been indicating to hold this circle here and now. And what's funny is, most of you who have known me a long time have known me to be, more extroverted. Like, yeah, I've been a teacher of intuition for 30 years. What's the big deal? Go ahead and do a live Facebook thing. And in actuality, with the virus and all the deaths, literal biological deaths of people, the death of dreams, the death of direction, all of the letting go, I have found myself, I'm not looking at the camera, I found myself much, much more inward and quiet and introverted, and actually not wanting to do anything public. I have not even offered to do sessions, and I know sessions would be very helpful for so many people right now. So for me, sharing this time with you right now is a sacred gift, and I thank you for joining with me. So what I'd like to do now is just tune in to the same energy that's been coming through. You can consider it my higher self, my soul level, and just tune in and see what wants to be shared with us, if anything. Like I said on my post, I don't promise anything because I don't know anything. I'm really blank a lot, and available to hear what's being said right along with you. So I may have my eyes opened or closed. It just helps me concentrate and feel the energies more deeply if my eyes are closed. You're welcome to do what feels good for you. So right now I'm being guided just to reiterate a few short sentences from what came out this afternoon's video. This came out last night to me in my journal. And it's this. This is the guidance from 4/11/20. There is no better guidance than everyone's own higher self. Living by higher self-consciousness, we are directed and carried through our traumas with the energy, intelligence, and viewpoint of our own higher self. I know that's not new news to most of us. If you're out there in the media world, all the biggies, all the famous intuitives and channels on the planet are saying the same thing. What came to me in my meditation this morning was, that's great. Not everyone knows how to do that. And so we're getting this directive, like our traumas are coming up, our energies are coming up, we're dealing with isolation, being cut off from seeing our friends and family in person, and all of the social things we've done, and that is very stimulating, and a lot of people are navigating all of that without resources to be able to learn how to move through it in a way that's really for their highest good, to help them evolve and wake up and have guidance take them through this time. So those of you who I know are here with me now are very attuned to your guidance, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm going to offer whatever comes through to see if we can receive more. So with that, I'm going to close my eyes and start listening and see what happens. You're welcome to join me. There are many perspectives with which to view what is taking place on the earth and for humanity at this time. The idea that following one's inner guidance or higher self or soul wisdom as a certain path for self-resourcing is an accurate idea. The reference to that of moving through pain, trauma, suffering, fear is one frame of reference. Another frame of reference is that this is meant to be. Humanity has been steadily careening toward this moment in time where systems would fall to dust like the phoenix rising from the ashes again. This has been programmed for humanity by the evolution of consciousness from the beginning. And so everyone's return of attention to their higher self guidance is expected at this time. It is not only in response to offering the human personality ways to navigate through the frightening or challenging moments, it is also the new operating system, where humanity is relating as the higher self through the body form, integrated with the personality. This is the new breed of human consciousness. This is the new human being oriented from the higher self, bringing that light into the physical embodiment and organizing the life in accordance with that higher state of seeing, perceiving, feeling, sensing, and knowing. It is the wisdom of the essence of your being that is being invited to come forward. For many, this is a nice idea, or it is conceptual. It is a bunch of words pointing towards something that sounds very pleasant and empowering and helpful. However, how does one access their higher self? How does one start to digest and integrate the light frequency that comes into the denser human form from the higher self to operate the vehicle? It is like putting your body in a new car and automatically thinking that you know how to drive it. It's not like that. It doesn't happen that way. There's a little bit of training involved. And so right now, take stock of your personality. We'll call the personality the. For example, the Danae operates and moves here and often drives the bus of this vehicle when the higher self isn't directing the show. So take a moment and take stock of the personality. Notice your personality. Notice its design, hopes, fears, wishes, attachments, triggers. Just take a moment, a minute of silence, and take an accounting, an inventory of who you think you are and how you operate in the world. This inventory will include beliefs, thoughts, history, stories in the mind, stuck energy that arises from the organs in the body. This inventory will include who you are in relation to, the roles and identities you play, and the relationships you have. All of this we'll call your operating system, your attention is mostly, typically, functioning from your personality. And the personality is like wardrobe, literally. It is an organizing of your ego structure to give you the clothing with which to navigate in the world. It is not good, it is not bad, there's no right way or wrong way. The ego is simply an operating system. The personality is the expression of that system. And so the personality level doesn't often look to the higher self for guidance. The personality is very much oriented toward immediate feedback, immediate gratification, safety and survival. The personality leans more toward the lower chakras than the higher chakras because the personality is designed for survival. There's a lot of instinct there. That's not good or bad. It's how the operating system works. So why would the personality want to pay attention to the higher self? And I'm being asked to open my eyes right now, so I'll do that. Why would our personalities want to pay attention to our higher self? Well, a lot of you already know this. However, this is what's coming through me right now. The higher self is like the eagle's point of view. It's got the big picture. It's looking down at the organized personality and the body that goes with it, at the life, at the relationships, at the identifications, at the attachments, and it knows exactly, precisely how to guide the person for the highest unfolding path. And the higher self or your intuition or your soul level wisdom is very, very practical, specific, and literal once you open the connection to that conversation. Once you're able to sit and ask your soul for guidance or your higher self for guidance, what do I need to know? In this particular situation, what's the highest way through this? How do I handle this? And it's like the best gift in the world because especially during this COVID time, there's a lot of questioning about who and what to trust. However, your inner wisdom always, 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 always will give you the truth and guide your steps, your choices, and your actions. So let's do an experiment now and see how we can play with anchoring metaphorically up. Because we're not actually leaving our bodies and going up to our soul or higher self, but it helps the brain to have a concept of I'm reaching up into a higher frequency, higher vibration of wisdom and knowledge. So let's use that metaphor now. So going ahead and closing your eyes again. Start by feeling your breath in your body. Feeling that heart connection with you and Mother Earth, because we want to be grounded before doing this exercise. We want to be not flying out of our bodies. We want to be grounded to the earth. She is our guide through this transformation for humanity. And now you can imagine an antenna from the center of your heart with your love. Feel your love for yourself first. Tap into that self-resourced place where you matter and you're willing to be compassionate and kind and loving and soft and here. You're willing to show up for yourself. Feel that first, the self-connect. And for some of you, you're already having a sense of your guidance coming in, might be a warmth, a radiance through your chest area, a feeling of vibration, a sensation already coming forward through your heart. And lots of times, our higher self will speak to us through our hearts, that still small voice. However, for the sake of the exercise, if it feels good in you, go ahead and stay with that self-love and simultaneously send a metaphoric antenna up through your crown, through the top of your head, upwards toward what you might imagine is your higher self, your soul, your light body. And you'll feel, or you'll intuit, or you'll imagine a connecting moment, like, oh, I'm connected. So look for that experience. Even if you think you're making it up, follow that. Good. And now, like sucking through a straw, go ahead and allow, if it's comfortable for you, this energy, this vibration, frequency, light, sensation to come back down your antenna or your straw and anchor right back down into your body at the heart level. And feel that connect. Again, you might be imagining it, that's fine. And now tune into the love being offered to you, not just your love for yourself at a personality level. See if you can attune to the love being offered to you by your higher self. We are so, so loved, so cherished, so worthy. And take a moment now to see if there's something you would like insight on or guidance for, or whether that comes as a feeling, a sensation, a stream of consciousness, pictures, words, however the message comes through you for you. Let's take the next minute or two and pose a question to your higher self. And just listen, feel, pay attention. If your attention wanders, bring your attention back. And just see what you receive. And it's okay if you feel like you're making it up. It's just a beginning step. So we'll take about a minute or two for that. And just notice what you have received, however subtle or grand, whether you think you're making it up or it feels like a distinctly different flavor than your personality that you're used to. Just take notice. This is a beginning step. This is establishing an intent for communication, asking a question, receiving an answer. This is a muscle. And the muscle grows with practice. It really, really, really does. Well, when I started off learning about my intuition from my own guidance, I used simple things like, what outfit should I wear today? What will help me feel balanced today? And then things like, what serves for me to have for breakfast this morning? Because my mind and personality have one idea, and my guidance is like, oh, you're going to eat this. This will really set you up for vitality and balance today. So you can play with this communication with your higher self as often as you like. I recommend and it's always been shown to me by my guidance, the same time every day sets up a rhythm, and it helps you stay in your muscle growing and keeping you in practice. So for myself, I do that every morning. I wake up, go right into meditation, then I ask my guidance for any instruction for the day. My intention is always the highest good for everyone everywhere, myself included, and then I literally live my life by my guidance. And so when I first started off, that was very new, and I was able to start making distinction between my personality and its wants, attachments, and desires, and the feeling and flavor of my higher self enfolding me and loving me and, you know, escorting me like I'm a toddler learning how to walk, and I've got these beautiful parental loving arms around me. And so here, you know, 35 years later, there's barely anything I ever do without going to my guidance first. Even as I'm going through the day, checking in, you know, what's true now, what wants to happen now, what wants to happen through me now, or I'm really wanting sugar right now at this point in the day. What can I eat instead of going and getting a candy bar, you know? Really practical guidance, because I have a strong sugar side. So hopefully this tip is helpful and you can play with it and work with it. Right now I'm being told, and by the way, just want to clarify, you'll hear me say higher self, soul, spirit, guides, guidance. To me, all of those words are interchangeable and mean the same thing. So right now I'm being guided to drop within, go to another level of listening, and do some direct transmission. See, there's messages for us apparently, I don't know on what, and go into direct transmission work. So that's what we're going to do now. I don't know how long this is going to last, so I'm in it with you. So feel free to pay attention to grounding and centering as always, and we'll see what comes. There is much happening on Earth at this time. Frames of reference are useful to give you ground and foundation to work from. Many of you already know that the light workers, as you would call them, have been moving toward this moment in time for eons, building the energetic frequencies of renewal and rebirth. This can appear to you as light frequencies and ley lines around the planet herself, who is a living conscious being. When these light grids were designed to embody into the physical density of the earth, they were designed to magnify the frequency of love and harmonization for the planet Earth, which then brings harmonization to all sentient beings, all living beings, all embodied beings on this planet. What is taking place at this time is the embodiment of that light grid around the planet coming into third dimensional reality to reorganize and shift the frequencies and vibration of the Earth herself into the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh dimensions sequentially. So for those of you who have been adept at going out and channeling and bringing in higher states of consciousness, you are familiar with the sensation of going up and out. Here's the catch. It's no longer time to go up and out. You have done that, and you have done that successfully. Thus, here you are at the rebirth of the planet and humanity. This is a time for coming down and in. And so for all those who are used to flying out of the body and touching the higher realms, your job is to come in and bring it down and house it through your form and create a channel as a conduit from the crown down to the earth. Thus, you are continued to be invited to connect your heart to the heart of Mother Earth and recognize her as a living being and receive her and her love for you as a living being. Establish relationship. The same is true with your higher self. The knowledge, the substance, the light, the frequencies, the information in your higher self actually has all of the encoding that goes with the light grid that is just embodied through the earth. That is what's happening for you. Your higher self is coming in to embody through the density of your form, through your neurology, through your nervous system, through your organs. This is happening on a global scale. The earth is doing this, humanity is doing this. Those who have pets, you might notice, especially with cats, they're a little bit weirded out right now. And that's because they're very attuned to energy frequencies. So notice what's going on in your environment. Notice not only what's happening in your own body and nervous system, notice what's happening in the collective. Because indeed, you are a part of the collective. You are doing the work with everybody. You are not singled out. Your trauma is not just yours. Your hopes and wishes are not just yours. It is the whole entire planet of living beings that are moving through this morph and this transformation into a higher frequency state of being. Does that mean you're going to sprout wings in a light body and ascend? No. No, not at all. It means this is embodied ascension. Embodiment ascension. You are bringing your higher self down through your nervous system, through your spinal cord, through your cells and DNA as an embodied state of awareness through your form. Your personality will become more familiar to you as clothing that you put on. If you choose to wake up and meditate in the morning, your first contact is with the frequency of your higher self, who literally does know all and can tell all to you for you. It's possible that your higher self might have insight for someone you love. Right now, the job on planet Earth is for every single individual being to open their relationship to their own higher self in their own way. What's being offered here are simply tools for practice. So when the personality can recognize that your attention is on your higher self more and less on the whims of the personality, sometimes because the personality structure is a developed ego, which has kept you alive and kept you going all these years, sometimes there's a feeling of resistance, like, well, I don't want to tune into my higher self. I've got this, you know. Especially those of us who have high intellectual capacity. There's a familiarity with analyzing and thinking our way through everything. Oh, no, I'll just think about it. I'll figure it out. I've got this. And that is literally part of the old world vibration that is going to hold you back. It will hold us all back. Anyone who's practicing giving all their attention to their thinking all the time. That is not the frequency of aliveness that is going to be sustainable, because the thought field, as the collective cleanses and purges more and more, and as systems start to crumble more, which will happen, the thought field is going to get congested. And if you don't have the discernment to find your way through, you will find yourself flipping moods very quickly. Very, very quickly you can become destabilized because you get dysregulated because you're running the circuitry of the collective. If that is your choice, that is your choice, and that will be your experience. Understand that you've positioned yourself to be involved that way, and understand that you are doing that consciously, and that's a free will choice. Understand what you are doing in those mechanics. For those who are choosing to roll with the higher self and allow it to come in, there'll be some confrontation with the ego, because the ego likes to think it's in control. I've got this. I don't need any guidance. I don't need to get quiet. I don't need to listen. That's fine. Most of us will have that experience of some ego snit going on. It's not bad or wrong. It's simply, it's been familiar. Our ego is what has kept our humanness going and healthy. And we've gotten as far as we've gotten because of the beauty of our intelligence and our attachments and our hopes and dreams. We are not throwing the personality to the wayside by any means. Unless you're in a nudist colony, you do put clothing on when you go outside, or when we used to go outside, you would put clothing on. The personality will feel more like that. There's the Danae. I'm wearing the Danae now. Yep, having fun with the Danae. And yet the guidance system to move through this COVID-19 time, to move into the new world, is going to come through the higher self. So digesting and integrating the higher self is your power tool. It's where your magic is. It's the insight that you're needing to guide you at the times when you are triggered, upset, scared, don't know how to make a decision about something, when you're not sure how to move. Because everything that you have known, everything that your life stood for, has been put on hold. For some, it has been wiped out. For some, it is the dramatic effect of losing a loved one to the virus. So there's a lot happening that the personality has to handle. And the higher self is designed already to handle everything that's happening. So the value of practicing connection with your higher self is quite high if that's something that resonates for you. Going quiet for a minute. There's a question about the forecast. So how is this all going to turn out? Are we going to be okay? Will planet Earth and humanity survive? That question is in the field of everyone, someone who's on this call. Yes, so wanting a forecast is fine, only there is none. It's impossible to give a forecast because there are so many living beings involved in this transformation and so much happening at a free will choice level that there's not a forecast of how things are going to go. Energetically, when you tune in to your higher self and you get directives that give you individually and personally a forecast, if you follow this course, this will be your result. That's what you trust. The forecast has to come from within. For many, this is an opportunity to finally take up projects and take on dreams that have been shoved to the wayside, because the momentum of the magic and the intuition, the heightened intuition, the love, the frequency, the field of light, the transformation of the collective, it's high time. It's like getting on a surfboard and riding the greatest wave ever right into the life that you want. That's a possibility. And how to get there is best navigated by following your internal guidance. Because all the personality knows is what it has seen. The personality knows history. The history for humanity has been erased, wiped out, gone. We can't place where we're heading in the future based on where we've been in the past. We can place our faith in the higher self directive because it is designed to deliver us, each and every one, through this rebirth of humanity. You can trust your higher self, and you can trust that your personality is not going to go away, that it's plenty there to be able to put on and navigate around with. The COVID virus itself is simply a tool for helping with this transformation. It is a mighty tool. The cry of humanity to stop the madness, to stop the speedy robot-like living has been heard. The wish to live normally, to have balance, to have time for family and friends and feeling your life, to feel love in your life for yourself, to feel your life. This call has been heard. So everything has stopped. You may notice you've been given time to slow way down, to feel your heart, to pay attention to the love in your life and the relationships that you have, to consider who you really are and what's really important to you. If this were the way it was going to go for the rest of your life, who would you choose to be? If this turning inward and this cessation of everything that's stimulating and high speed and super out there were to never return, who would you choose to be? What would you follow? How would you live? These are important questions for your consideration now, because there are many who are just waiting for things to return to normal, just waiting until we could get on with it again, till the movie theaters open and the restaurants open and we can have parties and get together and dance again. That expectation takes you out of the aliveness of what's rich and ripe and real right now. What's being experienced right now is the only truth. The rest of it is projection into a future that isn't here. Yet, we hope that you can trust that as you follow your higher self and you follow your gut feelings and your promptings from the love that you are, that by doing so, by living from there, you will see a heaven on earth that you have longed for. It must be born through you, each and every single individual. Nobody else can do your work for you. Nobody else can bring your higher self wisdom to you. You are the only one. So this tool of connecting, as you did in the exercises provided today, is a useful tool to begin with. Practice with this. Practice the same time every day. Have a pen and pad nearby. When you pose your question, be ready to write whatever comes or draw whatever images come. Be open and receptive that your higher self literally is here for you right now. There's nothing to achieve. There's simply the willingness to set the personality to the side and listen for what wisdom is here to escort you through this time. The same is true related to the virus. You can, when you go out of your door to enter the world wearing your mask and gloves, you can step out your door in fear, or you can step out your door with your guidance system active and awake, pointing you in the direction. Don't touch that particular item with your bare hands. This one, when you take this home from the store, set it outside, alcohol it down, clean it off before bringing it into your house. Practical things that your higher self will guide you through to support you to remain COVID safe. Even that, your higher self has the capacity to do. And so we're coming to the close of this transmission. Everyone, please place your attention back in your own heart. Feel your breathing. Find your heart. Feel your spinal column. Feel that connection to your higher self wisdom coming in at the crown down to your heart. Feel the connection of your love going down to the earth and the earth returning her love to you. We'll just sit for a minute, bringing all of the attention back inside individually. Okay, when you're ready, just take a deep breath and open your eyes. Come on back. So we've been together about 45 minutes, and I feel complete on my end. Thank you so much for, I keep forgetting to look at the camera. I haven't done this in so long. Thank you so much for sharing your precious time with me. There's a lot of things you could have chosen to be doing during this time, and I appreciate you sharing your precious time with me. So for those of you who want to be on my immediate send email list, just go ahead and post your email address and on my Facebook page, and I'll include you. Typically, if something comes through, I'll either do a writing or I'll do a video on it, and then I'll send that link out in the email. I don't know how often I'll be doing these live transmissions. This could be the only one I'll ever do. I have no idea. I appreciate your time and attention, and thanks for listening, and may we all feel the love, remember to laugh, and stay COVID safe. Blessings.